With the 9,700 retailer contacts in our reporting, we've got 87 reports. Within those reports, we've got 3,300 variables. You know, you kind of do the math on that. That's 2,300 variables to analyze. So we take the burden off the city, off the economic development, to actively recruit those retailers. So you look at the Lake Worth population boundaries, 3,600 people. You know, but retailers don't see municipal boundaries, and that's important to realize. I know this is a very busy map, and that's by design. You know, this map is an infographic map. It tells a story through the map. So you know, retailers have a tremendous amount of data to analyze. So if you kind of break this map down, you know, you got pockets of household income, you got dot density for population and businesses. So it really tells a story that a retailer could quickly look at a trade area or a market and know exactly where they would want to be just based off of the map. This is a lot of numbers, but I want you to focus on the 5-minute drive time because, you know, radius rings don't really work when you're on the water. 5-minute drive time is kind of the standard for most general retailers. Median household income of 40,000, average age of 39. You look at the education, 15%. Retailers like to have around a 35% education, so that's one of the things we have to combat when we're talking to retailers about your community. What this is pretty cool. This is a new thing we have. This is called mobile data collection. So essentially what we did was we ran a report. We drew a geofence around the Publix and the Walgreens from a period of April 2016 to October 2016. And what it does is when a consumer walks into Publix or Walgreens and have their smartphone turned on and enabling location services, it will actually track that consumer's nightly home location. All of you out there. So the data service knows where you live, and it allows us to draw an iteration of the custom trade area. What I'm going to go through for the next few slides is actually going to be a trade area based off this heat map. So it is a heat map. You see the red is the higher density, orange is when it goes to blue, it's the lower density. So this is the trade area based off the data collection. I know if you know anything about the Lake Worth market, this is a pretty ambitious trade area, but we can back it up with the mobile data collection. So within that custom trade area, you've got 248,000 people. The average age is 39. It's predominantly split between white and Latino, 40%, 37% respectively. The average household income is 42,000, so slightly above Lake Worth's population. Average housing value is 263,000. Mostly family occupied households. Married households make up 38%. Average of 2.68 people per household. The daytime population at 240,000 is really strong. We're talking to restaurants. They want to see strong daytime populations. You see a large population of employed and student populations, which is really great for restaurants that we're talking to. Average employee salary is 45,000. So again, I went back to the educational attainment. I've been told this by countless retailers. There's so many variables they're having to analyze. They're really focusing now on college education, and they want to see a education attainment at college level of at least 35%. That's kind of how they're making their decision. So again, that's just one of the things we're combating. So tapestry segmentations, I'm not going to get into the weeds on this, but essentially Esri and a couple other services has found a way to basically stereotype neighborhoods across the country. And they do this because retailers are getting so many variables and so many sites thrown at them that they're having to really drill down into these markets. And retailers know their consumers. They know exactly who's going to purchase goods at their stores. So this breaks it down. So this is going to be the top 5. I can send you guys all the information that really breaks down specifically, what these segmentations are for your community. But newest residents, set to impress, Emerald City, front porches. We didn't come up with these names, so they might be offensive, and I'm sorry about that. But it really tells a story. It tells what type of people live in these communities, what they like to do, what they like to eat, how they like to spend their leisure time. So retailers use maps like this, and this produces a map of the tapestry segmentation, so they can look specifically in the neighborhood and target their demographics like that. So the focus categories. We run a gap analysis, which is basically taking the consumer expenditures minus the the retail sales receipts and finding out whether there's a market leakage or a market injection. When you look at the custom trade area, this goes out so far, it incorporates parts outside of Lake Worth. There's actually a market injection here, so there's more money coming in. But I want to drill down a little bit and show you market leakage within this category. So if you look at the overall, there's more money coming into the market. But if you drill down into some categories, such as building materials, clothing stores especially, full service restaurants, you kind of can peel back the layers here and see that there are some significant retail leakages. So we use this data to come up with our focus categories and our prospect list of retailers. We use these numbers to talk to retailers, and every component of this that we're talking about is we use to tell the story. So you can't look at any of these in a vacuum and use it to talk to a retailer, but you can kind of layer them together and start to tell the story. Another thing we use is the city comparison report. So we ran a 5-minute drop time from Lucerne in North Dixie. And I know you see cities like Jacksonville, Hollywood, St. Petersburg, and you think those don't compute with Lake Worth. But what we're looking at here is a trade area analysis. So, you begin to look at Lake Worth's population of 41,000, daytime pop of 17,000, median household income of 41, and market supply of 617. And you look at these other markets, and they have very similar statistics. And we narrowed these down from all the cities in Florida and came up with these. So we look at these cities that we're compared to, we look at what retailers are doing well in those cities. And we go out and talk to these retailers and say, if you're doing well in these trade areas, the reason to believe that you would also do well in the Lake Worth trade area. So within the peer analysis, it breaks it down into categories. So Lake Worth is going to be on the far, I know that's really hard to see, but it's the far left category. So you look at, immediately look at clothing. And these pull from a list of 500 national clothing retailers. So I understand there might be other small boutique shops. Our data does not pull that, but from the list of 500 we have, you see in Lake Worth, there's one clothing retailer compared to 18 in one of the peer cities. Health and medicine, there's 8 compared to 19. Quick service restaurants, you're looking at 12 compared to 24. So just another way that we can help prove and justify that there is significant leakage in the market and target the retailers we think can fill that. So what is the retail store expansion? I've talked about restaurants and grocery. A significant portion of our recruitment goes out to restaurants just because they make up 40% of the growth. Within restaurants, the fast casual is the main component. That's your Panera Breads, your Chipotle's, the things that you can go get a quick meal at the same speed you could quick service restaurant, but you get the higher quality meal, a little bit higher price point. The retailers that are contraction, obviously video stores, electronics, office supplies, those are all in rapid decrease. 2017, we're looking at about the same, probably 16,500 restaurants. But you see groceries are going to do 750, home stores 1,400, so there's going to be a lot of expansion in 2017. Boots on the ground is, we're in the market at least once a year updating our inventory of properties. This is a great opportunity for us to get in front of property owners. This takes our boots on the ground to a new level to be able to connect with all you guys. So I do look forward to the conversations we're going to have tonight. But we're targeting properties for new development, redevelopment, higher, better use. Again, we're not brokers, but we do have brokerage connections and developers. I can't tell you how many brokers and developers I've talked to recently that said, hey, we haven't been able to crack the Lake Worth month. But we look forward to what y'all bring back and show us. So there is some excitement about Lake Worth, and we're really excited to help capitalize on that. This is the current real estate overview. You look at the Lake Worth market, and it's a classic donut hole market. There's retailers, national retailers all around Lake Worth. But you look specifically around the North Dixie corridor, and there's definitely a donut hole, and a lot of the retailers that you typically see in a market like this are missing. So retail prospects, we've got a pretty expansive retail prospect list, but I'm just going to go over the top 4 categories we've identified based on peer analysis, the gap analysis, and also, we gave a survey to the CRA to see what they want us to track based on citizen wants and desires, so I'm going to go over that real quick. But the top 4 are restaurants, obviously, apparel, specialty grocery, and entertainment. So restaurants, we've got probably 15 limited service restaurant concepts that we're targeting. They typically go between 12 and 4,500 square foot spaces. Typically standalone, they'll do in caps or inline. But clothing, you talk about clothing, you're talking about a little bit more significant development. They're typically not a standalone user, so you're talking about a little bit bigger parcels, similar to the development there. They need their co-tenancy, so that's very important. Those deals take a little bit longer time to do. You need retail development. Specialty grocery stores, people hear specialty grocery stores and immediately think about the organics and the specialties, but there's also some discounters, some specialty discounters that are coming from overseas and expanding all across the nation. There's another brand, organic brand that's got some local, it's got some injection in the market from a major brand that's expanding all across Florida. So those are the types of conversations that we're having on behalf of Lake Worth. Entertainment, obviously there's a huge arts and millennial generation. We talk about experiential retail. Those are the type of retailers that we're targeting to target the demographic that's here in Lake Worth. So the implementation plans obviously are well underway. We've been working with Lake Worth for over a year, made a ton of great connections, a ton of great contacts. We're kind of the middleman in all this. Like I said, we're not brokers. We're making connections between all the different facets of retail. We're not under any disillusion that retail won't come to Lake Worth without us. We're just here to present retail opportunities to retailers that might have overlooked the community or might make them come here faster. So this is the marketing guide. We've got a bunch on our table back here. I encourage you to come pick them up. We take these to all the trade shows with us. It just gives a snapshot of the demographics and the community profile. We hand these to retailers. It's a good conversation piece to basically give the retailer everything you need to know to make a snapshot judgment on the community if he's never even heard of Lake Worth. ICSC conferences are a big part of our job. I go to 10 a year, the 10 major ones: Las Vegas, New York, Dallas, Atlanta. Obviously the Florida is a big one. There's a lot of regional shows we attend also, but these are just great events, networking to get Lake Worth out in front of those leaders. Lake Worth is represented in every single one of these conferences. So you talk about investors from Los Angeles coming to Lake Worth. Well, we're trying to make those connections as well and bring outside investors into the market. So this is our booth at Recon, 36,000 commercial real estate professionals at Recon, over 1,000 exhibitors. It's just a great opportunity. So, what we're doing is we're continuously updating our strategy. The market changes, the retail atmosphere changes. We're staying on top of those trends and making sure that your community is positioned in front of those retailers, staying on the forefront of their minds, and making sure that they know your story. Also, I want to mention on-demand reporting. We have local business owners I know here in the market. We want to be your research concierge. We can run site-specific reports from your business. If you're looking to expand within the market, we can also run reports from potential sites you're looking at. So we offer that service through the CRA. We're happy to do that. We turn those around in the same day. So we want to provide that service to the locals. A lot of this has been researched, but at the end of the day, real estate always wins. You look at North Dixie Highway, and a lot of small parcels. To get significant retail development, there has to be assemblages. So, I've heard the same story over and over from retailers that they tried to enter the market and haven't been able to. That's kind of the nut we're trying to crack. But retail recruitment is economic development. We really appreciate the partnership and the investment that the CRA has put in us. It's definitely not an event. It takes time. We're well underway of that. 70% of retailers will expand this year. So glad you put your faith and partnership in us. I just want to say, Joan and Mark, love working with you guys. They're a tremendous asset to the community. They're our main point of contact. Can't thank you enough for having us here tonight. So appreciate it.
Once again, I want to thank staff from both the CRA and the city for being here today. And again, thank you for being here. We have food from Mamma Mia, so don't rush out too fast.